It was a real need. Nowadays, that we are going to target specific therapies driven to a specific mutation, the design of clinical trials should change. And we should offer the healthcare systems something that is really required, that is to guarantee their sustainability. Harmony thought that by creating a big data lake, because at that time there was no data federation and so on, there was only the possibility to create a data lake containing a big amount of data of patients with blood cancers. We could in some way improve the treatment, the management of the patients, and in some way fasten the access of the patients to these new, more efficient drugs that are now called the precision or personalized medicine. At the very beginning it was really difficult. I remember that when we went to the Innovative Health Initiative headquarters to try to present the project and be approved by the European Council and the FPA, something that they told us is, well, one of the strengths, but maybe one of the dangers of the Harmony Alliance is the big number of organizations that you have. We were at that time almost 50. There were no other European project that has that big number of institutions. One at the EHA 2023, that we are presenting 3 oral presentations and 1 poster, and I feel that at least one of the 3 is a practice-changing presentation, and I feel that it could have been one of the plenary abstracts at this EHA. Multiple projects with the patients to try to understand, because Harmony is a patient-centered project, to try to understand what is the real needs of patients that in many cases are not the same, the ones that the physicians believe they are. And other projects that are currently underway, and that is important to say that all these projects are built because this is the first time that in the database enter not only data coming from the universities, hospitals, and public institutions, but data from the industry, from clinical trials. And the reason why this has been possible is because we have been able to create, and this was one of the big issues at the beginning of Harmony, to create a process of harmonization and data entry into the platform that is compliant with the GDPR and all the national regulation concerning data protection, and also that has demonstrated to be a safe place to have your data in. Because obviously, if a pharmaceutical company believes that the data are not in such a place, they would not have introduced any of the data of their clinical trial. I think many relevant projects, many more to come. We are just at the beginning. Really, what makes in some way Harmony unique is, first, that is the largest alliance with a really real public-private partnership, with the presence of all the different stakeholders that are involved in the management of the patients with blood cancers, including patient advocates, professional associations as the EHA or the EBMT or the ERTC, regulatory agencies like the German and the Spanish ones, health technology assessment bodies like NICE, obviously a lot of centers, institutions that we call the academia. I would say that they include most of the relevant people that is dealing now with patients with hematological malignancies, and obviously pharmaceutical companies. In Harmony Alliance, we have more than 500 people working, more than 150 associate partners, let's say institutions that are not an initial member of the alliance but now is contributing with data to the project. Very big pharmas, I think, are the most relevant pharmas in the world today. I think that Harmony should become the common place where all the hematologists in Europe and maybe in other parts of the world, because we have now relationships with the US, Australia, Taiwan, South America, and many other places. I think that Harmony could become this core place where every hematologist could put the data in, present a research project to be done, and being able to answer the questions that are relevant to our patients. Is this drug that is coming better than the standard of care, for instance, or is just the same? And in this sense, I think it's relevant to say that last week we had a meeting with a panel of experts of the European Medicines Agency that was dealing with the potential use of the Harmony database in a use cases base for the Darwin project. This, I think, is the most relevant European project now, and is the one that could allow that, for instance, a clinical trial does not need to have a control arm. Let's say in this time of target therapies, we cannot have 700 patients. We, for a specific trials, we can end with 40, 50, no more. So it is very difficult to identify 40, 50 patients like this all over the world. And the price that a clinical trial like that should take, randomized, trying to find 300 patients for each of the arms, is impossible. So what we are proposing and the EMA is now studying is to use the data that are in the Harmony data lake, to use them as control arm, an in silico control arm that could in some way tell us if the results of a clinical trial are good for the patient or just mere repetition of the results that we are obtaining right now. This is, I think, one of the most significant things that we can do in the future. And this will be required in every blood cancer. Harmony will become this common place, like this EHA place that we are here, that will be capable of offering our patients the gains in life expectancy and in quality of life that they require. And as physicians, our obligation is to serve them. We are in debt with them.